My name is Tejas from the 2026 batch, your host for today.
Hi, my name is Jyotsna Pandit.
DBE,
Events,
Career,
data,
Corporate World,
intimidating,
MBA,
hectic,
Friends,
lifeline,
Delhi.
metro.
Greetings and a warm welcome to the official YouTube channel of the Department of Business Economics, University of Delhi. Welcome to another episode of Internship Stories 3.0, where we delve into the journey of our seniors who completed their summer internship program. My name is Tejas from the 2026 batch, your host for today, and today we have with us Miss Jyotsna from the 2025 batch, who completed her internship at Moody's as an assistant risk consulting associate, while also bagging the pre-placement offer. We'll dive into her journey, how she landed the opportunity, and what was it like working at Moody's. So without further ado, let's get started. So hi Jyotsna, how are you doing today?
Hi Tejas, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great as well. So before delving into your internship journey, let's start with a little introduction about yourself.
Hi, my name is Jyotsna Pandit. I'm a second year student at the Department of Business Economics in Delhi University. So a little about myself would be that I grew up in Delhi. I went to Sanskriti school. Then I did a BTech in electrical engineering from DTU, Delhi Technological University. I graduated in 2023 and joined DBE right after that. My specializations here are finance and analytics, and I enjoy coding in R, which is something I'm learning on the go. And yeah, in my free time, I'm an artist, and you can find me sketching if I'm not studying. So yeah.
Thanks for your intro. Now I wanted to ask you that coming from an engineering background, how did you develop your interest in finance and analytics?
So it's a funny story actually. When I came to this college, I did not have any prior experience in finance. We had this subject in our first year, it was called project appraisal, and it dealt with concepts like capital budgeting and other finance related concepts. And I remember we had an internal assessment and I did not do that well in it. So it made me realize that finance is a very crucial subject. I think we all need to be aware about it, investing, SIPs. And also that it's very similar to how engineering as a field is. It has a method, it has a system, and I slowly started getting into it, and that's how I decided that finance would be a specialization that I'd take up. Coming to analytics, I think it was an easy choice. It was very logical. I already had a lot of the skills that were required in this field, so that was the reason for my decision.
Well, that's amazing. So what was it about Moody's that caught your attention? Why did you choose it for your SIP?
So when I read the job description, I knew that this was the internship that I wanted. It mentioned a lot of coding background, and I thought that I was already proficient with that, so maybe this was the right fit for me. And apart from that, Moody's as a brand is pretty great. It has international presence. It is a leading name in the field of credit risk and scorecards, and I just thought that it would be a good addition to my CV if I worked there. So yeah.
That sounds like a well thought out decision. Anyways, what kind of methodologies, techniques, or frameworks did you use while your internship at Moody's?
For this, I'd like to talk a little bit about my role, Assistant Risk Consulting Associate. So we were part of the banking service design team, and our clients were banks and financial institutions from across the globe. Now, this was a blend of consulting and programming, and it therefore required a lot of R and Python, since these are skills that are needed in the industry quite a lot. Apart from that, there was use of Excel, which was used in data analysis. I also used Microsoft PowerPoint, because at the end of the day, we had to make presentations for the clients, because this was a client-oriented role as well. So these were the prime tools that I used.
Well, that sounds fascinating. So, what was the most challenging part of your role, and how did you overcome it? Any key takeaways?
Okay, so during my internship, I was given 3 projects, and I remember the first one was particularly challenging. So I'll give a gist about the project, right? It was related to ESG, and this had a very wide range, you can say, because the team had been working on it for 3 years, and I was just coming in the middle. So I did not really have a context of what was happening, and also it was this particular project was research oriented, and I needed to have a lot of background about ESG, about frameworks, which was the key task that I had to do. And I had difficulty in understanding how exactly my analysis was going to affect the big picture, like how I was being a part of the project, which I was able to tackle by being transparent with the seniors in my team. I asked them for help. I sat down with them, tried to understand the entire A to Z of the project. And the team was also very helpful. And of course, it required a lot of patience and trusting the process. So that was how I managed it.
So that's quite insightful. Do you think the course structure or your specialization at DBE played a part in your selection?
Yes, definitely. So the thing with DB is that the course is quite unique. So it's an MBA in business economics, and it has further specializations: marketing, finance, analytics. Mine being finance and analytics. I would say that. So in the first year we have this subject called basic econometrics and statistics, of course. So these really help building up the foundations for the things, the skills that I would require in the internship, and it helped building a business acumen, some insights in finance that I was able to use in the internship as well.
Well, that's amazing. Now, how did you go about prepping for the interview process? Were there any strategies or approaches that you had in the back of your head?
Right, so apart from the basic academic studies that one does before an interview, I would say that there were certain things that I made sure I was covering. First was my CV. Now, I had to know exactly what I had written in the CV, the projects I had worked upon, from start to end, exactly what was going on, how I dealt with the problems in the projects I was facing, the internships I had worked upon, what learnings I had from the internship. And the other thing would be that I had to research about the company as well, how I was fitting with the company and its values, what was the role like, what were the tools that were already available that Moody's had created earlier. So these were the prime things. Apart from that, of course, there was practice of SQL, Excel, R. So yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Anyways, speaking of prep, are there any specific skills or certifications that you feel are essential for this kind of a role? And any tips that you would like to give to juniors who are prepping for similar roles?
Yes, definitely. So let's start by discussing the essential skills that are required for this role. That would be proficiency in any one coding language, R or Python. Since I've already mentioned it before, these are widely used in the industry. Apart from that, if you can manage some basic concepts in machine learning, like clustering, that would also be beneficial. So now there's a lot of usage of Excel in this role, because there's a lot of handling of large data sets, data analysis. So one needs to have the basic concepts in Excel as well. Apart from that, I would suggest that one could look at puzzles and guesstimates, because often these are questions that act as a icebreaker almost in interviews, and they showcase that you have a logical mindset.
Fantastic. Now, could you walk us through your day as an analyst intern at Moody's? What was it like, the workload and the expectations? How did you manage?
Okay, so I would say that working at Moody's was very flexible. It was a great working environment. So we had hybrid days, right? Hybrid working schedule. Some of them were from home, some were in office. Usually I'd be working from home, and we'd log in at 9 o'clock. I'd be given a task which I had to complete, and there would be several meetings throughout the day which I had to attend. Apart from that, Moody's has a platform called the Moody's University, which allows for skill building. So whenever you have free time, you can just go over there and ensure that you are up to date with the skills that are required in the industry. Then come the anchor days, which used to be my favorite. So anchor days are when all the employees, at least in the department, are expected to be in office. These were not very work heavy. These were mostly for interaction with other teammates. I have a lot of memories. I mean, we used to have lunch together. We often played activities in the entire department. So yeah, it was a flexible and the learning experience was quite great.
That sounds like an insightful experience. So, during your internship, was there any particular experience that or realization that left a lasting impression on you?
Right, so it's interesting. I remember the day I had to submit my first deliverable. That very week, there was a client meeting, and my work was directly reported to the client. And I realized that somehow my internship work and my learning curve had a real impact to some financial organization in the globe. So that was quite empowering. It was a surreal experience.
That's amazing. You are a member of the Training and Placement Committee as a placement coordinator, which in itself is a demanding position with a big responsibility. So I just want to know that how did you manage your academics with it?
Right, so it all boils down to time management. When you're in the training and placement committee, you need to juggle academics on the side. It is very essential. And for that, you need to understand your own abilities. You need to analyze the task at hand. You need to figure out how much time you actually need to allot for that and stick to a schedule, have a very rigid schedule. I would also say that another very important factor would be teamwork. So, my team and I would say that we work like a well-oiled machine, right? We fit like a puzzle. And there's a lot of collaboration, there's trusting each other's ability, and we have each other's back. So, that also contributes.
Amazing. So let's shake things up a bit with the fun segment which is called the role reversal. Now in this round, you get to switch places. Imagine you are the host and you can ask yourself one question. Anything that you have always wanted to ask a fellow intern or you wish that someone had asked you. So let's see what you come up with.
Okay, so I would ask myself, how did you feel when your internship ended? And for that, I would say that there was a feeling of accomplishment, like I had achieved something. So, for context, right, in my engineering, I did not really have a corporate experience. I did work in budding startups and in the government sector, but not in a corporate. So, yeah, it felt like I'd achieved something and I was proud of myself. And also on the last day, I felt terrible because I didn't want to leave the office. And also, it was raining in Gurgaon, so the streets were flooded and we couldn't really find a cab, so we had to wait for extra hours in the office. And we just did not want to leave, so yeah.
Now moving on to another fun segment which we'll call the rapid fire. I'll say some random words and you'll have to describe them with rapid one word answers.
Sure.
Alright? Ready? DBE.
Events.
Career.
Data.
Corporate world.
Intimidating.
MBA.
Hectic.
Friends.
Lifeline.
Delhi.
Metro.
Motivation.
Money.
Stress buster.
Art.
Those were great. Lastly, before we wrap up, any final advice to the juniors watching that who aspire to walk in your shoes?
Right, so my advice would be, apart from working on your skills, you should do projects. Make sure that your CV is enriched with pointers that define who you are, that suit your skill set, and also make best use of these 2 years. MBA is not like your undergrad, and it allows for holistic development if you grab the opportunity. So I would say that take part in activities, don't be in the back seat, and also have good relations with everyone because you never know who you might need in the future. So
Thanks for your time, Jyotsna, and all the valuable insights. It's been a pleasure having you here.
thank you for the interview. It was a pleasure talking to you as well.
Thanks. That's a wrap for the episode 5 of Internship Stories 3.0. If you find the video insightful, please do like, share, and comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel for more such inspiring stories. See you all in the next one.